Hey guys, welcome to Unit 3, Lesson 3, where we are going to start actually graphing linear equations. So we are going to graph these linear equations using the slope and the intercept. So we definitely want to have our equations in slope-intercept form, okay? So step 1 is always going to be to write the equation in slope-intercept form if it's not already in slope-intercept form. So if the equation is in standard form, switch it into slope-intercept form. Now the steps are super important. The first thing you want to do is graph a point on the line, and that point that you're going to graph is the one that you're given, which is that y-intercept, okay? So first thing you want to do is graph that y-intercept. Remember, we talked about the y-intercept is always 0, comma, y, or b is the variable they use. They being all mathematicians, okay? So we always graph that y-intercept first. That's 0, comma, y value. Then we use the slope of the line to create more points. I like to call that we travel the slope. We travel the slope by traveling the rise over the run. So we do a rise over run to create more points. And then, use a ruler if you'd like, or try your best to draw a line that extends through the points, through them, and placing arrows on both ends to show that the line goes on forever. So let's try this. So let's take a look at number 1. Is it written in slope-intercept form? Yes, it is. Y equals mx plus b. So let's identify our slope as -1, and we'll write it as a fraction, -1 over 1, and our y-intercept as +5, and that's the point 0, comma 5 on the line, okay? So you kind of have to do this legwork ahead of time so you know what you're going to be working with. We always graph our point first, and our point is our y-intercept. So we graph our y-intercept first at 0, +5. So it's a y-intercept, so it's going to be on the y-axis. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my y-intercept at 0. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, that's 4. At 0, +5. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. There's my y-intercept. And then from this point, I'm going to get to the next point by traveling the slope, okay? So one thing I want you to keep in mind, slope is rise over run. But if your slope is positive, it's going to be rise over run. That's if your slope is positive. If your slope is negative, it's going to be rise over run because it's going to be a drop instead of an up. So if our slope is negative, it's going to be rise over run. Notice that the run always goes in the same direction. Notice that the run always goes in the same direction. If it's positive, you go up. If it's negative, you go down. And it means the slope. If the slope is positive, up and right. If the slope is negative, down and right. And keep in mind that a negative slope means that your line is going to go down. So that's why we go down and to the right, because that will make your line travel downwards. If you draw a line and your slope is negative and your line is going up, you made a mistake. So let's start over. We've got our y-intercept of 5, and we want to go from that y-intercept, we want to travel the slope to get another point, okay? The slope is -1 or -1 over 1. So since it's negative, I'm going to go down 1 and 1 to the right to get to the next point. I'm going to go down 1 and 1 to the right to get to the next point. Down 1, 1 to the right. My next point's going to be right there. Okay, down 1, 1 to the right. Down 1, 1 to the right because my slope was -1. You only need 2 points to make a line. You could keep putting more points, down 1, 1 to the right, down 1, 1 to the right, down 1, 1 to the right, over and over and over again. But you don't have to do that. You've got enough to draw a line. And that is the line of y equals -x plus 5. Let's try another one. Let's try number 3. All right, let's identify our slope, Our slope is 2 over 5, and our y-intercept is 2, which means that's the ordered pair 0, 2. It is in slope-intercept form, obviously, because we just pulled the slope and the intercept. So let's graph our y-intercept first. We always graph the y-intercept first. So that's at 0, 2. And now we're going to travel the slope, okay? The slope is positive, so we're going to rise and run. We're going to rise 2, and then run 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So up 2, right 5 gets us to our next point, which will be right here. So up 2, from the y-intercept, up 2, and right 5 gets you your next point, and then it only takes 2 points to make a line. That's where a ruler helps. Oh no, that was terrible. So we get our ruler out, or if you draw nice straight lines, I don't. You can try and get a nice straight line. There we go. Nice straight line through those points, and arrows to show that it extends in either direction. All right, let's take a look at number 8. It is in slope-intercept form. The slope is -4, or we can call that -4 over 1 in fraction form. Our y-intercept is 0, because there isn't one, okay? And that is the ordered pair 0, 0. So first we want to draw our y-intercept of 0, 0, and then we want to travel our slope. The slope is negative, so you're going to be going down and to the right, always to the right. So down 4, right 1 will get you to your next point. So start at your y-intercept, go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 1. Now that you've traveled your whole slope, there's where your point's going to go. That's your next point. So down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 1. And then we draw a nice line that connects those. Oh, that is not a nice line. Okay, I'll do my best to draw that again. Let's draw a line. All right, and put arrows to show that it extends in either side. All right, take a look at number 7. This is in y equals mx plus b form. It's just that it's like y equals b plus mx. So let's just rewrite this so we have 5x minus 3. Doesn't really matter as long as you know that your slope is always attached to the x and your y-intercept is always the constant by himself. Our slope is 5. Our y-intercept is -3, so that is the ordered pair 0, -3. Where do we start? We start at the y-intercept. We start at our point. So 0, -3 is right here. 0, -3. And now I'm going to travel my slope. Oh, my slope is 5 over 1 because it's rise over run, so I need to see that fraction. I'm going to rise, it's positive, so I'm going to rise 5 and run 1. So rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run 1. So rise 5, run 1. That's going to get you, that's going to mark your next point. Rise, run, there's my next point. And let's graph this line. I'll do my best here to graph a nice straight, oh, that was really bad, guys. You're getting a comedy show here on how I draw lines. Let's put that draw tool. There we go. Okay, you'll probably draw them better than me, or you can use a ruler or the edge of a book or something. And there is a line. I'm a little off on my line because I didn't draw it very pretty, but there is my line of y equals -3 plus 5x. Notice how all the ones on this page are in slope-intercept form already. So all you have to do is identify the slope and the y-intercept and follow the steps for graphing. Go ahead and try 2, 5, 6, and 9, and then I would like you to use the answer key on Canvas to check your answers, to check your graphs. Now the second set of examples, the difference is that it is in standard form. The linear equation is written in standard form. So first, you have to convert into y equals mx plus b. So you have to convert from standard form to y equals mx plus b. Then you can find your slope, your y-intercept, and proceed with graphing. So on this page, I'd like you to try the even problems. Try the even problems, and then use the answer key to check your answers. Prepare any questions you have for the end of this video or during class. Thanks for watching, and thanks for learning.